No, I know you got that. Trust me.
I sent it to Lizzie. Yeah, we have it. I sent it to Lizzie because I think
We're gonna go ahead and call this meeting to order.
because I thought about it
This is our
earlier.
work
I needed to
session.
give Lizzie what she
I will
wanted
be
to
doing
do.
the opening prayer. I'm gonna ask, Councilman Tapley if he will do the pledge of allegiance as Councilor Brown, Eric Brown is running a little bit late. Mr. Reverend, Alfonso Spratt is not able to be here. He's gonna be having surgery tomorrow. So I ask that you all pray for him now, but we'll also say a special prayer for him tonight. He's having trouble for, walking. Father God, we come to you right now, Lord, the best way we know how, just to say thank you. We thank you for this opportunity. We ask you to continue to bless this city. We know that we can do nothing without your hand. We ask you to touch every household represented here tonight and every household in this city. We thank you for allowing us to live in a country where we are free. We want you to know that without you, we are nothing. We ask you to touch everybody in this room. Let us all do what we need to do so that you not only take care of the business of our city, but we show you and others the love that we have, just as you have shown it to us. All these prayers we ask in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. Let's face the flag. Attention, salute, pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank y'all so much for that. We do appreciate it. As you all know, our work sessions are pretty laid back. So we're gonna start off actually with, Ms. Roman Stantz is gonna be talking to us about our 2026 budget.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I promise if I ever get started, it will not be Death by PowerPoint. All right, so I know that the agenda says the budget, but unfortunately, we don't have all the data yet to complete the budget. I will talk about the budget briefly, but I do want to highlight some of the things in the policy.
Okay.
And Ms. Lori, I do apologize, I haven't sent you a copy, but you will get that today before I leave. Okay, first of all, the purpose of the policy. One of the key values of the city's financial management and the policy is going to address us being prudent, making sure that we plan, having accountability, honesty, and openness. That's the whole purpose of the policies. We want our citizens to be able to trust us in the financial management of their funds because it comes from their tax dollars. Objectives to guide the council and management, all of us as managers, in our policy decisions. Anything that's going to have a significant impact on the city, that's the purpose of the policies, to guide those decisions, as well as to maintain appropriate funding and financial ability to meet any challenge. Whatever happens, we want to make sure that we have things in store and available to meet any challenge. Internal controls. The importance of this being in the policy is that it clears an audit exception. That's one of the things that we had, that we did not have a clear division of duties. So this clears that up. The duties of the city council are to authorize expenditures, approval of all contracts, final approval of the annual budget, and to review the monthly statement so that you can be abreast of what our finances look like. Does that say that?
One down.
There you go.
All right. So the reserve policy, I know you guys have heard me say it a lot of times. We gotta build our reserve. We have to build our reserve. This sets the goals for that. General fund, we wanna have at least 30%. The actual goal is 50% within my heart, but 30% of our annual expenses. And because the general fund funds Parks and Rec, that, half of 1% sales tax, Parks and Rec is at 30% along with all of the utility funds. Now, golf, the airport and municipal court are different because they fund themselves. So that's why I want their fund balance to be at least at 50%, because if they don't have enough to fund themselves, then they fall back on the general fund.
Later. Remind me later. Oh, one. No. Just click that.
I promise you I'm not. I'm strong, as it gives 3 to 5 years, we will reassess according to the economy and inflation. And the second thing is it gives direct numbers for if you're traveling to a major city or even out of the country, how much the amount you can spend increases. A major city, 25%. If you're out of the country for whatever reason, please take me with you, that'll be 150%, okay? And the things that are in progress right now that's not completely complete is the payroll and employee portion. Kristen and I are working on that. The grant policy is being updated as well. Amanda and I are working on that. And lastly, a couple of other department heads have seen some things that they have questions about, so we're talking about that as well. But my goal is by Thursday of this week to have it complete, and I will send that out to you all. All right.
Any questions, comments, y'all? Any questions?
Is this all on the budget?
Budget's next.
This is
You can click it.
This is policy.
Okay, so the budget update. The salary study results are back. We haven't reviewed them yet, but they are back. So the mayor, Kristen and I will get together this week and finalize all of that. What I need from you all is a decision on the appropriation. I gave you all that listing. It was just the one in particular that was Habitat for Humanity because they requested either money or land. So I really need your opinion on how you would like to go forward with that. And with that, I should be able to finalize the budget by Friday, once we have that information. Oh, most important thing, we need to schedule a work session on the budget, so hopefully we can still get it finalized before October 1. Any day is good for me except for the 29th. You can be so gracious as not to plan anything.
So appropriate.
No, go ahead.
So,
You go ahead, you can.
on appropriations, I asked Sandra Fuller with the tourism board, since I'm on the tourism board, to kind of make a case for, try to get funds that they requested versus the cut, because they have great information on economic impact from a lot of these fishing tournaments, whether it's the high school fishing tournament, the upcoming Bassmaster deal we're having next year. So I asked Ms. Sanders, she could come up and speak to the council and you guys to let you kind of see the economic impact of the investment, because it's only $12,000 to get to what they asked, but the economic investment, I mean, the return on that investment is pretty high. But the Bassmasters alone, it makes up for itself. If Ms. Sanders would mind.
You come on, Sam. You come on, yes, come on.
And then Larry is also with us with Lee Creek, so he can help with those numbers. He helped Ms. Sanders get some of the numbers together. We're leaving a little race.
Thank you, Councilman Brown and Councilwoman Mint for letting me speak about this real quickly. We had a board meeting this morning and I just ran over some details. So this page that you're looking at here, just wanted to let you kind of see what your dollars are doing for the fishing tournaments. So the top part of that, those are bid fees, host fees. Most communities pay host fees and bid fees for certain tournaments that they bring into their community. A lot of them for the high schools, the middle schools, then you have your adult ones. And so if you'll notice on the top part of that, it shows you all the ones that we did. There's over 30 that go out of Wind Creek State Park. But those are the ones that we've actually paid bid fees on. And so that first column shows you what we pay to get that tournament here. The second column shows you how many overnight stays that were a part of that particular tournament. The third column shows you how many anglers came to fish. Your economic impact is the following thing. So if you're looking at it, we, before you add the Bassmaster Open, it shows you a total of $42,550 that was paid out for those bid fees. One of them was a championship for ASABFA, which is Alabama student anglers that Josh Williams is over. That was a championship and they were there many nights as well. But it shows you their total overnight stay was 3,564 total for all those tournaments. Total amount of anglers was 3,376 anglers. And the economic impact was $1,176,000 plus. Now that's just the anglers. That doesn't show you that with all of the families that come in. So you just take that into effect, adding that as well. And then of course we have the Bassmasters, which shows a $219,000 impact on that one. So the next column that you see is what was paid out from you as well as the county and as well as tourism. I just wanted you to see that snapshot. So the contribution for the Bassmasters is your first column, and you'll see what we had to pay to them at the very beginning columns. But Talkeetna County, they have an allocations amount, so now they're taking in unincorporated lodging tax. And how they do that is all the tax that comes in from the county that's unincorporated. They divide it into 5 different buckets. Tourism has one of those buckets, and we get 20% of that. So that's always kind of exciting to look at those numbers every month and see that grow, because some of that money does come back to us with the help that we do in the tourism department. So then there's the pass-through amount. We did request $27,000 last year, or we got $25,000. And if I'm not mistaken, in history, the tournaments used to go into the Parks and Rec. And then when tourism was created, it was created for it to be kind of a pass-through and to handle those tournaments. Since then, those dollars have decreased, but the tournaments have not. We don't want to cancel any of those tournaments, because if you look at those top columns, those top boxes, you'll see the impact. It's kind of hard to say who do you not bring in, trying to stay with that budget. So our tourism office has been taking up the difference in those, regardless whether, what we get. But we are asking for the city to continue those contributions. And we've also reached out to the county to ask them, because now we're able to see what contributions come in for them on the short-term rentals. So we're able to kind of compare and see what that is. So they'll be increasing that for us, and we asked that from you guys as well. I did want to kind of show you your lodging tax. We have one more month, so anything could look different in September. But right now you're over your $83,000 ahead of year-to-date last year in lodging tax collection, which is really good. Again, September could look different, but that's always a positive. And then you'll see where the county's lodging and incorporated taxes, if they started collecting, what that looks like. The bottom section is what we already have that's going to be coming in for our 25 and 26 season. And so we still haven't finished on that. So there's another document that I've handed to you. We did agree in our board to bring the Bassmaster Elite. It is the professional tournament. It was here in February of 2018. So we'll be bringing that back. The packet does have an economic impact. They're not just here for the week of that tournament. They're here starting now. They're scheduling places to stay, whether short-term rentals and hotels. They're doing their pre-fishing over and over again. We'll have the news place. They don't do ESPN anymore. It's Fox that comes in. but they are nationally televised, 2 days, 3 hours Saturday, 3 hours Sunday. So we get a lot of coverage about Lake Martin, so the promotional side of that's really a great impact too. But the numbers are in this document, you can kind of look at that. And I just want to tell you about the impact it has on Wind Creek State Park, these fishing tournaments. So this is the ASABFA, they're qualifying. That weekend, Wind Creek collected $1,400 in tax, part, not the dollar amount, just that's the lodging tax that would have come back to you guys. In the tournament itself, $2,900. Would not have been that large had not the tournament happened. It's talking with Laramie Warren, who's over that facility. In 2024, they collected in lodging taxes $2,300, so it was up $600, ASABFA, for the tournament from 24 to 25. So a lot more people are staying at the park, the RV park. The Bassmaster, the time he was here, the collection of lodging tax was $3,900. So, and then Alabama Bass Nation was $1,500 for there. So you can kind of just see what rolls in, just not at Wind Creek State Park, but at the hotels as well. And just wanted you to get a visual on that. We're excited about it. It helps us at the off season from the lake because we know we're busy during the summertime. But this rolls around from September till February, March, April. So it just helps us bring in more dollars to the community. So, do you have any questions?
Well, Sandra and her team, and it's not, fishing's the easiest way for everybody to see the numbers, because that's the best one we have to look at. But it's, her and her team are nonstop looking to bring other events, like next year's the 100th anniversary of Lake Martin. They have a lot of really cool stuff scheduled, dragon boat race, possibly jet ski racing type deal. So there's lots of other things that are coming to Lake, and then there's a sporting division to where all of our parks and rec type stuff is highlighted to bring, you know, kind of put a light on, we're not just a lake town.
Right.
We don't seem to be in the largest city in the county. We reap the most benefits from the tourism.
Exactly, because you have the hotels here too, so it's definitely a draw there. And two, we do have a dedicated person, Peyton Natale, he is our sports tourism director. And he's the one who's focusing on looking at what we have already and what we can bring in. So he's constantly looking at golf tournaments, things such as that, the Junior League of Golf Tournaments. There's a big tournament going on next weekend, I think, or this weekend. So there's many more tournaments. We're just trying to fill in those voids all year long, trying to figure out where we've got a pocket of downtime and see how we can fill those things. We're trying to create those experiences too. You've probably seen the Los Gatos of Martin, hopefully. That's a fun one, but we're a small community, so we don't have a lot of things that people can go to. We have parks, we have trails, but when you're a metropolitan place, there's many more places to go, right? So we have to create those experiences. And so every dollar that we get, we really try to focus on that, trying to do things that are completely Lake Martin area wide, but also things that we can get people out doing things, going to places, trying to spend their dollars, getting them out of their short-term rentals or out of those hotel rooms. So we put visitor stands in each of the hotel rooms, each of the hotels, and then we also put a guidebook in each of the rooms. Just another way of trying to remind them how to get out and spend their dollars. So your money is important to us, and we appreciate everything we get.
I think they did a fantastic job
Well, thank you. We love it.
with what we're doing.
I think you can see the fruits of the labor happening, and it's not just us. There's a lot of people in our community that work really hard to bring in your Chamber of Commerce's, your Main Street programs. They're all so important. Our arts, LXC Theater, they're real important to our community. And they're working really hard to bring events so that people have things to do.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, guys, we gotta have a date for budget. 24th, 25th, and 30th, which days work for y'all?
I know that I could just be.
Okay. It's a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in the black on the 24th and around
We do. What day works? Either 30th,
Yeah, 30th, it doesn't matter.
30th. What, Chris? Yeah, more than likely 4:30. Let me just, let's see what we can.
I can make it work.
You
I
can
got
make it 30?
something, but I can move it around. As far as how I can do
Ms. Robin, will the 30th work for you?
it.
I mean, that's,
So that's the
that's the
30th,
day before.
that's the
I
day
mean, that's
before,
the day
but
before, then
that's
give
the
much
closest,
time.
that's the closest we can get. If
Yeah,
the budget,
What do you think about the 24th?
Results meeting also.
and what time,
Meeting
oh yeah,
on the
that's on the
30th for
30th.
canvas results.
So we could, can y'all be here
Y'all wanna go to
after we canvass results, we can have, we'll be canvassing results at noon.
Probably. It's still good.
I just know I can't be here on the 24th.
So we'll canvass results on noon, the 30th. We have to canvass results on noon on the 30th. Once we do that, can we do that work session for budget after that?
I'm just sure. I mean, I don't mind doing it on the 30th, but if there's anything that changes or anything on mine, it doesn't give them no time to do we want to. What about Monday? Like, this coming Monday,
The
22nd,
22nd?
it gives a whole week if anything has to be changed.
Please,
It's the
not
day before election.
Election.
And Ms. Roman won't have her budget completed until the 19th. I think that's kind of close for her, and it's the day before the election, so that means they're gonna be out doing their things. I don't see that being a good day. So that's why I came up with the 24th, 25th, and the 30th. We can't do the 29th because Ms. Roman, so the only date I got is the 30th. Is that gonna work for you?
We can make it, I mean, it makes it work.
I really need a
Well, you're
majority
not-
here, but I would love for all of us to be here because it's budget.
Is there a way we can get the budget ahead of time? That way we can
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, she.
give us plenty of time to look over and make.
Right.
I mean, we're not
We
gonna
could
vote on it
see-
till the 6th of October anyway, okay? Or we're gonna have a special call meeting to vote for it on the 30th.
What do you want, Ms. Roman?
I would love for it to be voted on the 30th.
She wants a
Yeah, I
special
mean,
call
if we're gonna
meeting.
discuss it on the 30th, if there's anything to be changed, then you can't vote on it.
Well, actually, if she's gonna have it done by the 19th, she can send it to us all that week that we're unavailable. And you can send any questions you have to her, we can get those answered and start moving along, so the 30th, we may be able to vote. What y'all think?
Yeah, but.
If we don't vote
That
on
blurs
the,
that, that blurs that line.
yeah, but if we don't vote on the
Unless you do it
30th, then,
individually, don't do it as a group.
no, we can't do it. If we don't do the 30th, then that means they're gonna have to operate on last year's budget until we pass it on the 6th. So that
Which is
means,
in your packet
which
tonight.
is in our package tonight, so if that's okay with y'all, that's okay with Ms. Roman.
Whatever she said, and you know what?
So
Well,
what y'all
we just
want
leave it on the 30th, I just, didn't change it.
30th and vote on the 6th?
Or vote on the 30th. I guess if there's amendments or changes, amend the budget and make the changes, vote on it, and it have to be changed. You know, different amending the motion, just amend the budget, if there's a change that's gonna be made, you can vote on amended budget.
Well, you get them in, let's do the year fund stuff.
Let's have a special call meeting on the 30th for the budget. To add to,
Following canvassing.
Following.
We're gonna have a work session, canvassing, and a special call.
following canvas, we'll have work session and special call. Work session to hear the information, special call meeting so we can vote.
Special call meeting at what time?
Immediately following canvas.
We'll do it all sequential.
Everything's gonna happen right behind canvas. Okay? And our canvas went so great the last time, I really think it's gonna be even better this time. So we should be quick, all right? All right, y'all, we've taken the time, I'm sorry. Now we're gonna hear the sewer discussion about Hillary Tower.
Good evening, council. I hope y'all had a great day today. This is a summary of the dissertation that Ms. April Bonham gave you on the last council meeting. This is, I wrote this up, it's a summary, it's gonna be short because it gets too convoluted if you get too deep into the thing. But this written response repeats the explanation provided to Ms. Bono at least 4 times in the past, 3 in person, and 1 in our response to the Attorney General office regarding her complaint filed on or about 4/14/22. On 9/20/21, the City Council amended chapter 90 of the Alexander City Code regarding sewer rates as part of a 5-year plan to make the wastewater utility funded. The ordinance, what you did was increase the fixed monthly wastewater fee from $10 to $20 and double the usage charge from 1,000 gallons from $6.34 to $12.68. To clarify, the $20 fixed fee is a wastewater fee, not a general fund administrative fee. This is all enterprise fund. This has nothing to do with general fund. Regarding Hillby Towers, master meter pricing applies only to commercial accounts. Hillby Towers is classified as an independent residential facility, so each unit is charged a $20 fixed fee. City staff and I met with representatives of Hillby Towers board and agreed to a rate adjustment aligned with the HUD resources available to the facility. The board declined to allow the city to review the HUD contract, so we were not able to we couldn't come up with a rate because we didn't have numbers to work with. I stand by my statement that Ms. Bono misunderstands the city's administrative and financial structure. The Attorney General's office found no fault by the city, which supports this position. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions?
The 20 unit, so where's, like Brown's Nursing Home, and how are they classified?
That's a medical care facility. That's not an independent living facility.
Okay, so that's the difference.
Yeah. They provide medical, they provide care to those patients in residence, whatever you want to call them.
So,
These people are independent living. They do all their own thing, they provide their own, they cook or they don't cook or whatever, but they live in those apartments by independent living.
Are we talking about the $20 charge on a water meter or
No.
on the sewer?
Sewer. Every sewer customer gets a $20 fixed fee. Every water customer gets a $13 fixed fee.
Okay.
And that's to cover the administrative cost of that utility. So the $20 is to cover the administrative cost of
And what
That's
is,
per,
the billing.
per billing.
That's split with billing and with the administrative personnel in the sewer department.
We charge a $13 meter fee for water, or base fee for water, or $20 base fee for water per customer.
For $20 for sewer,
Yeah, per customer,
per customer.
per billing. Every billing cycle. They only have one, we're only billing them one source of water. We're not billing each individual unit water. Right? They have one meter outside their building. Yes, no?
one master meter, right?
Master meter, yes.
Each resident of that facility doesn't receive a water or sewer bill, correct?
This is the way we do this for every
I'm
one.
asking a question, yes or no?
What's the question?
Does every individual in the building receive a water or sewer bill?
No.
Only the facility receives it.
And neither does the housing authority. It's the same thing with the housing authority.
With the housing authority, they have 477 meters. They purchase their meters, they read their meters.
That is for their use, not our use.
Yeah, but the city doesn't do anything with those meters. Just like I go buy a pair of shoes. If I buy a pair of shoes today, you gonna charge me to wear them tomorrow? Okay, they bought the meters.
We charge the housing authority on master meter, and then they charge their residents.
So you charge them for their 6 master meters, but they're receiving a charge right now for their
Individual units,
477
for the individual units, yes.
So that's their meters, they go out and read them. The city doesn't need to read those 477 meters.
They read those meters for their use.
Yeah, but the city didn't go out and read them. The city didn't go out and read them.
They're not our meters.
They're there, but you're charging them, whatever you're charging them per meter, and it's their meter.
It's still,
That's like charging me for a pair of shoes that I bought today.
it's still an administrative fee that we use to pay for the billing and pay for the administrative staff to oversee the water and or the sewer department.
What are we bill? What are those people causing for a bill?
So.
They don't have a bill coming to them, so the billing department isn't charging unit 107, that person that lives there, they're not causing the city a billing, you're billing that one master meter that's out in the front.
This is the way it's been done since I got here. I'm just following the rules like they're presented and like they're in the code.
So So it's been done that way for a long time.
The last 5 years since I've been here.
But prior to the increase, the fees were much lower for those entities. Once that became, I don't know what you pay now annually, what do you pay annually now? Yes, you may.
Ours, right now, for our bills have ranged anywhere this year from 12,000 to 22,000
And
a
like
month.
the housing authority is paying $57,000, $57,240 annually.
Before I even have
For meters.
usage, I'm almost, 1,560 on top of my bill, on top of the usage and everything else.
We agreed to adjust Hillby Towers rate if they would show us their HUD contract. And then we looked at we look at the subsidy they're getting from HUD, and then we would have adjusted our rate to that. And they refused to let us look at their records.
It was not refused. He is not authorized by HUD standards. I have standards that I have. I can only show authorized people that are shown through HUD. I have to go through forms and documentation to have my authorization. Those that review my forms have to have authorization. If I were to give my paperwork to the mayor and he goes through it to see my subsidy, which is what I get from HUD, then I could be fined $15,000 personally, plus my property for unauthorized usage. And like I told the mayor before, for many years, my property is not arguing the utility increase. What I'm arguing is my property is 78 units, one bill. I should not have 78 units charged for one bill. I pay the bill as the property, it's included in their rent. Now the housing authority, they have a little difference where Buffy was saying, they have 6 micrometers, they have separate. Where that difference is what they call a utility allowance through HUD. If they have a certain, say $30 a month that HUD allows per apartment, anything over that 30, that's what the resident is responsible for, and they pay it in their rent to the property. But, and I've spoken with the housing authority for the last several years, we went back and forth, the mayor has actually called HUD and tried to demand money from them in regards to this. They are basically the same. They're getting per room at $477 for $20 each per month, and you figure that out per month, per year, what we've been paying out between both of us is astronomical. I've never argued the utility increase. I completely understand it's used for infrastructure and to fix the repairs that are much needed. My issue is before I even get a bill, I should not owe almost $1,600 for 78 units when I'm only paying for 1 meter. Now, if all 78 units were other properties or communities where they each had their own, or they could come here and pay their bill, I completely understand. But you cannot come up here and take any of my residents' utility bill. I have to do that. Same with the housing authority. Now, what gets me is when I've had conversations with the mayor, 1 minute it's, well, $20 per charge per meter. Then he comes back and says, oh, well, now there's a difference between independent living and dependent living. So you mean to tell me if I put a doctor or a PA or someone staffed, then I can get away with it?
You change your status. You'd have to change your status. You can't just put a nurse in there to take care of the residents.
Well, you just said that they were taken care of by medical
That's
staff.
right, that's right. It's a different structure and it's a different business license.
Well, speaking of that, I'm also a nonprofit, but I've not received that offer either.
What else?
Being a nonprofit, we're not billed as a nonprofit either. But my biggest thing right now is.
What would that have to do with this?
My biggest thing right now is the fact that $1,560 is already added on my bill each month. And that's before I have any usage, any taxes, or any fees. I'm not arguing the fees for the usage and the increase. But if it's 1 bill, 1 meter, 1 charge, my property ought to have it just for the $20.
Lee and handed thing in the, that's what I'll do.
Oh.
Well, I just wanna say something. I know y'all all familiar when we try to set a standard across the city, how a lot of people are built with a master meter, some got master meters, some got individual meters. So when I found out from Ms. Bono, since that facility's been open, they've been paying the base rate. That base rate was $10. It just so happened with the 20. We've got some, I guess, specialized situations within the city. It was kind of hard to reverse some of this stuff without opening up a can of worms. You know, you take Ballard's new development, you know, that was kind of, you know, we had to go back and forth, and it's actually mastered with individual meters. It's kind of like a hybrid, the way we.
It's kind of like the housing authority.
That's the way he wanted it.
But these two entities are HUD entities. So you're talking about federally funded buildings, and we are charging them. And especially if I look at the housing authority, and I'm speaking for the housing authority because Mr. Sterling is at a meeting and could not attend today. I'm trying to figure out what are we doing when we are charging these that are HUD buildings. These two are HUD. They're not for profit. These are HUD buildings.
Yes, and
They're federally funded.
And I asked Ms. Bono the other week, you know, the last council meeting, was there some type of the development agreement, was there some way that this was put into place? I don't know if the city in the past didn't do something for that when they put that up. If we run some type of infrastructure over there too, I don't know the whole logistics.
We would have had to.
My question was to her, Ms. Buffy, and that's all I asked, how long have y'all, she said, well, we've always paid that.
And they have, but at $6, it was a different price to them.
$10.
And then when or $10 and a $6, a 1,000 unit, 1,000, units, then that's fine. But once you increase that fee, that increased their price. If you're talking about HUD, they cut their finances, they're gonna cut their finances again, and how are they gonna pay these bills?
Well, it's like this. We put a plan before y'all. And we told you everything. We explained it all. 5-year plan. All that was in there.
But we
And
didn't.
y'all voted for it.
We did
So-
not talk about
We did not.
how the impact would be on those two HUD buildings.
Well, it was y'all passed it, you know, if you want to change
I
it.
think
then-
now we need to look at how we can do something to change those two HUD buildings. Yes, ma'am, you go. Ms. Harleen, if you'll come up here. You come up here. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Bonner.
The letter I'm about to read is from my board president, and I'm one of my owners. Unfortunately, he's not here today. His wife has cataract surgery this afternoon in Birmingham, but he did send this. I apologize that I cannot be at the work session today due to cataract surgery. I believe it is important for all to understand why there is the Hillary Towers. The minister of Alexander City Church of Christ, Mr. James Cullins, wanted to find a use for the property connected to the church to be used in some way to bring individuals to the Lord. James discussed this with Mr. Bill Nichols, and Mr. Nichols suggested that the church apply for a HUD loan to build a building that would provide the elderly and handicapped a place to live. James was thrilled at the idea, and the church formed a nonprofit corporation called Hillary Towers, Inc., with the board being made up of elders of the Church of Christ. Since this is a nonprofit, the board members do not get paid, and the payments from HUD are structured so there are no monies left over at the end of our fiscal year. Hillary Towers is considered HUD due to the Section 8, but we're actually a private, nonprofit corporation funded by HUD. Hillary Towers management has never challenged the increase in utilities costs. Having to pay these increases does cut into our maintenance budget, but we have been able to pay the increase. HUD has a method for calculating the funds we receive each month to support the tenants that live at Hillary. That money does fluctuate at time to time, depending if we fall below the 78 units. Regarding the water rates, we have one master meter that supports the entire building. Hillary Towers is being charged the $20 per month per apartment, when in fact, we only have one physical meter providing water to the entire property. Each tenant's rent covers their utilities. We cannot increase that portion to subsidize the money that we have to pay out to the city. This is similar to nursing homes where the monthly bill includes the utilities for the tenant as well. Family members at the nursing homes or other properties cannot go and pay at the city, nor can none of ours. Hillary Towers is charged $1,560 before we pay for any water usage. We are also incorporated as a nonprofit. He wants to look at that, that's a different conversation. We can provide a copy of the first page of our articles of incorporation that reflect our nonprofit status if we need to. What he is requesting is that the council to consider that Hillview Towers for a nonprofit entity housing for the elderly and handicapped that is supported by HUD under the umbrella of a Section 8202 for elderly. We feel we are unfairly being charged because we only have one water meter, therefore we should only receive that $120 fee. Thank you for your consideration in this matter. Alan Baker, President, Hillview Towers Board of Directors.
Do you know what your average water usage is a month?
Used to, I don't know right off. I know our bills were anywhere from like 9 to 12, depending on usage and how, if we were, ours kind of fluctuates depending on if we have vacancies in the apartments.
Lynn, do you happen to know? Do you roughly know their water usage a month? Gallon what? Do you know, and I'm just asking because I'm trying to take notes here. What, without looking, do you know what qualifies as a commercial? How many gallons it has to be used to be qualified as a commercial property?
How many gallons has to be used for classified as commercial?
Yeah, water usage.
I
I don't know what I'm talking about. I just was asking you.
I don't think it's on the gallons, it goes more on whether or not the customer wants to be a commercial customer, like a lot of the apartments that we have in town. They're on master meter and they have a commercial account.
That's where
Now,
I'm
do
getting.
they want a commercial account and be charged that, or do they want a residential account?
But so it doesn't classify on amount of water usage?
Yeah.
So, do we run them?
Because the apartments,
Commercial first.
the way the apartments, so they ask us, if,
Right.
they want to be set up commercial,
And that may be a solution to this.
but put them on commercial.
I mean, that's why I'm asking these questions. I mean, I'm gonna go back and look myself, but if you could let us know, you can look at your water bill, it'll give you your monthly usage. You can kind of give us an average usage.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
We were just trying to figure a way, best way for us, because with us having 1 meter, it didn't really make sense to us to be charged $20 for apartments. I mean,
I don't
have 78 meters hanging off each of my apartments, so.
Well,
I don't know if commercial rate makes it better or worse for you, but I mean, it's definitely.
it's less than the residential.
It's gonna be according, if you do a commercial fee on a master meter,
Right.
or you can't do a $20 fee on a master meter for residents. That just doesn't work. They'll have to go commercial. At that point in time, they would get the 4642, the master meter, and then whatever the commercial rate is now since we've upped it,
That's right.
which is about 12 something dollars a thousand or something like that.
And then, there's that, what'd you say the fee was? Is it annually
What?
for the commercial rate?
No, it's monthly.
It's monthly use.
For
It all
master
bases
meter.
off water.
Huh?
It all bases off water.
It all bases off water. Yeah, the master meter is the water meter.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Arlene, I know you're here. Ms. Arlene is the RAF president for Housing Authority.
Yeah, Mayor Val said that it should have been something put in place years ago. Well, when we first came here, we gave y'all information where HUD had a agreement with the city. Mr. Sterling came on, before Mr. Sterling got here, this stuff was mapped out between the mayor and Don Davis. When Mr. Sterling got here, he discussed it with the mayor twice, showed it to him. He would not honor it, haven't honored it. He just put the prices wherever he wants, wherever he wants. And when Mr. Sterling tried to address the issue with him, he said, call HUD to tell HUD to send us some more money down here.
That's
Mr.
incorrect.
Sterling told HUD, that told Mr. Sterling, told the mayor, that he have to work on a budget. HUD give him money, so much money. He have to work on that budget and stay within the frame of that budget. The mayor said, he went behind Mr. Sterling back and called HUD and reported HUD trying to get Mr. Sterling fired because he would call HUD to get some more money.
That's incorrect.
That's a fact.
Okay.
That's a fact. You could call Hood. They are very about it. That's the truth in there. I didn't think he would go that far, you know, but to put the responsibility on Hillary Tower and the housing authority because he don't want to tax other people, his friend base. You know, that's the problem. That's the problem right here with the city. That's the main problem right here. That's why I stepped out and up and challenged the people. Because if you're gonna be fair, let's be fair with this stuff. And stop conjuring up them things that's not true. To suit somebody else. Just be fair and be truthful about it. Because HUD has the housing authority. It's been over there over 60-something years. Been over there over 60-something years, and they will stand for 60 more years. Long after I'm gone and the mayor gone. But put the responsibility on elderly, disabled, senior citizens, young mothers with children that's struggling day by day to make ends meet, pay bills, and you still running up the bills, and finding ways to run up bills. Because you don't want to take on your friend. Well, I tell you, I'm asking the city to do your job and do it thoroughly before you make these other decisions. If you made a bad mistake, correct it. But do your job.
That's all I was gonna say. We did increase the rate. The council increased the rate, and in that increase, we did not look at those two entities, which are HUD, we didn't even talk about.
When Mr. Sterling get back, I can bring you the rate here that they had, cause the information was sent. It probably got.
I have it.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Every
The
time,
mayor would honor it.
Every time.
Everybody else had, all the other mayors in this city have honored it.
we have honored everything that was put before us. We haven't changed anything, except for what y'all did with the rates. Mr. Sterling, both times that, every time that we called HUD and talked to them, Mr. Sterling was in the room with us, because we had video chats, right, Ms. Romy? He was in the room with us, and we discussed, we were trying to help him. He said, if y'all can go to bat for me and talk to HUD to see if they can get us some more money, then we'll do what we'll honor your rate.
No. You did, no, Mr. Sterling never said no such thing as that right there.
Yeah, he did.
And you know.
You weren't in the room, Ms. Westall.
You know he did. That man is very.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit down.
He's been with us for many years.
Thank you. We wanna thank y'all. We will actually take in, Chris and I are trying to find information, but we'll look at this and try to come up with something, y'all. So what we think.
So if it goes commercial, does that do away with that per unit deal if they went to that commercial master meter?
If that's what y'all passed.
Yeah, but if they go commercial, does that solve that problem that they're having?
It solves that problem, but then it puts us even further behind on sewer. Just remember that. We're already behind funded. When the two rates were rescinded, that put us $200,000 behind this year.
But if the customer has the choice to ask for the option, they should have the choice to ask for the option.
That's the way it was set up when I got here.
I mean, that's what you said they do. They have the option to request to be commercial.
Apartment buildings have the option.
And that's basically an apartment building.
Now, this is a HUD entity, a Section 8 entity, it's different.
There's a lot of apartments in town that are Section 8 too.
There's some, yeah.
Okay.
But they don't ask for anything.
Well, you said they had to ask to be on commercial rate.
If when they build the apartment, they have that option. But the Section 8 apartments in town, they've asked for nothing.
Cause they're paid by their residents. The residents pay their
Right.
bill, not the entity themselves. Not the master meter, the residents pay that bill. That's the difference. There's the difference. That's the
It's like
rate.
checking 78 different meters, you're not checking 400 something, you don't have the manpower to go into checking individual meters.
All right, thank y'all so much for that. Like I say, we'll look at it. I'm sure we'll talk more now. Any other business to come before the council? At this time, we,
I thought we had something to discuss.
It's next
It's
week.
council
It's next
meeting.
week. It's in council meeting. Any other thing come before the council? This time I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Thank y'all.